Hello YouTube, this is Ready Set Exploit, and we're going to be doing Extracted from TryHackMe, which is a challenge I created alongside Dr. Gonzo, which involves following the steps an attacker took to exfiltrate a KeePass memory dump. Our task is to review the PCAP traffic, which shows us a very obfuscated PowerShell script. Actually, it's not very obfuscated at all, just a lot of noise. The script reveals how the data was exfiltrated using some XOR encryption along with some base64, and we can reverse the encryption to reveal the memory dump for KeePass along with the KeePass database file, and we can retrieve it using a vulnerability on KeePass, which allows us to extract the master password except for the very first character, which we can brute force at that point. And then we pretty much get our flag right then and there. This kind of came a little bit late with this video because I was under the weather, but without further ado, I'll go ahead and get started. So I already downloaded the file, so all I have to do is just extract it. It takes a little bit. Actually, now it took a few seconds. So we have this traffic PCAP. You can open it with WireShark, and there's quite a bit of traffic, but right away we see this PS1 HTTP GET requests and the response, right? And then we see connection going to port 1337. So, getting a feel for it, this is a lot of this, and you can actually tell, right, I think on packet 19, based on basics for encoding stuff. So let's look at the conversations, TCP. So, okay, a lot of packets, 395 megabytes go from this port to 1337. So most likely this was the victim and this is the attacker, right? It's also little ports here, 1339, and a little bit more on 1338. So, before we dive into it, we can extract this. You can do this in various ways because you can follow the TCP stream, and review it here and even save it, right? But I'm actually going to go to File, Export, because it is an HTTP object. I can just save this right there as is, save, close this, and that's it. And now I'm going to open my terminal. I'm going to call this PowerShell review. I did not spell that right. So let's review it. I'm going to use Vim because I get color coding. So a lot of obfuscation, but it's actually very poorly obfuscated. I obfuscated it, and I am much better at reversing obfuscation than I am creating it, which is kind of funny. Because this looks like just a variable, and it says get bytes, right? And then more variables. So a lot of it is just noise. Because we can see here the program procdump.exe. That's just internals tools to extract memory dumps, right? Process dumps. So let's see, and yep, see right here it says internals. Downloads it to a zip file, right? Goes to the desktop, and then it looks for the process named KeePass. So right away, okay, so the attacker is looking for KeePass, right? And then we see 1337 here, okay? So accepts the EULA, true. So you don't have to actually diagnose it a little bit, right? You can kind of make sense of some stuff. Don't count reach, but right here have a file name 1337 .dmp, all right, and right here we have, and this is pretty obvious right here, an XOR key. So 0x41, that's the letter A. If you're not sure, you can go to CyberChef right here, and I think it's this one. 0x41, letter A, right? So XOR key, and then it takes this file, output file name, and then it goes through, this is the XOR process right here. So it goes to the XOR process, that's a base64 encoding right here, and writes the file, and then right here, server IP, so this is a hex IP. So we can actually, let's see, I don't want to have to cat it. Echo 0x, just in case. A0, A5, E6A. Echo that, right? Will you tell me where you are? No. Let's see, IP to hex to IP. Yeah, so if we do this, put it there, convert IP, that tells us well, we already knew, right? So the attacker, this is the attacker IP. I think we knew that already. If we go back to statistics, conversations, TCP, yeah. So it's going to 94.106, 94.106. So we already knew that, but this, this script kind of verified it. So it sends it to port 1337. So right away we know, okay, this file right here went into, which is to port 1337 via TCP. That's what we see here. So we want to extract that, right? And then it does a couple more stuff, but we'll come back to this. Let's start extracting the file. And this is where, if you try to follow TCP stream, it might crash or it might completely slow down your WireShark. So this is where T-Shark comes in handy, and it's much faster, right? Because this is a big file, I'm not going to do that. So what we want to do is create a filter for this. And this is how I typically approach these things, right? I'm going to do this, I'm going to apply as column, right? I want the data here. So apply as column, right? And then I want two particular things. Where are you? Right here. So I want the destination for right click, prepare as filter. Selected, right? That's something I want. And then I'm going to go to here, column preference. This is how I usually handle these things, and until you get familiar. So I want the fields is data, right? So I'm going to do T-Shark -R. I'm going to show you how long it actually takes. I think it takes about a minute. So fields, I want the fields, -Y there, I want that. And I'll show you, I also want anything, you see how there's these little empty spaces, right? I don't want these, I want only the data. And these are small. So this took a little bit of guessing, not guessing, but a little bit of experiment when I was first creating this challenge. I'm going to do anything over 100. It could be 101, it could be, it's whatever gets rid of those empty spaces. When this room was being tested by one of the room testers, they said they didn't need that, but I just wanted, just a habit I have. This is the data I want to print, data, right? Now I'm going to just do head here. Yeah, see, okay, so we have some text here. Let's reverse it. xxd.ps, this is to reverse the hex. And now you see we have some base64 stuff. So I'm going to save this to the original file. I think it was 539. 539.dmp. Yeah, I think that's it. .d. Alright, so yeah, alright, there we go. I think that's good. So let's go ahead and, oh, did something wrong there. Oops, let's not do that. There we go. That's an interesting, I don't know what this warning is. Alright, so that was pretty straightforward. Now let's write a little script. Do this for us, and hopefully it goes well. First try for everything. Import base64, so with open 539.dmp -R as file. I'm going to do encoded data, oops, equals file.read. So we're gonna get everything here. We're gonna do binary data equals base 64 B64 decode encoded data. Save that there. XOR key. Right, so need that in bytes. We already knew that was A. Decrypted data equals byte array length. So I need the length of the binary data. Right, so I need the length of this thing right there. And for I in range, the length. So the length, so each, we're gonna go through each byte of that binary, the length of the actual length of this binary data. Let's see. We're gonna decrypt the data. Decrypted. So decrypt. So we're gonna replace each value there with binary data. So now we're gonna. Now we're gonna handle the decryption. Right. So I XOR or bitwise operation. The XOR key. Right. The length. The XOR key. And hopefully that works. So now with open, okay, so actually let's call this 1337.dmp. Probably should put this in quotes. So we're gonna write those bytes as file. File.write decrypted data and print decryption completed saved to 1337 p and see how long this takes. There we go. Line 18. What do I do? Oh. Alright. So, let's see what else we find. Right, so we kind of knew this. Let's keep going down. This is just a couple more noise. This is, I don't know what happened here. Oh, okay, and then not far down, line, what, 134? You know, this is I think it's set and no, I forgot how to do it. No wait, set number. Yeah, there we go. So you can see the line number. That's always nice. That way, if you lose your place, if you remember, you can always just go. So, for example, if you want to go to 117 semicolon, there we go. So we have now this file. Oh, 41 seconds. I hope that works. Let's see. Yep. So if you do file, you get a mini dump crash report. Let's hope that works. So we saw that this was a now database file and XOR key 042. That's B, capital B, E2. So let's see, and we could repeat the same process with T-Shark actually if we want it, but we could just let's see, column preferences. I'm gonna remove that. Apply. We could look at this because this is a lot smaller, right? But we could probably just So I'm gonna do this TCP stream. There you go. It's a lot smaller. Small database. And the process is the same. I don't think I need this anymore. So you see, opens this database file, XOR key. This is the database 1337, but now it sends it to port 1338. So, and that's pretty much it. That's all we need. So let's go ahead and call this database 1337. Save it as is. And now we're gonna do get KDBX. I think, yeah. And now we're going to, we just have to alter a little bit. A couple changes, really not that much. Database 1337 B, and the price is going to be the same. Database 1337 .kdbx. Save to, I want to type that. Yank. That's with a Y, lowercase y, and paste. All right, and now we're gonna do time. That takes 2 seconds. Look at that, and there we go. But we don't have the password. Should have called this extracting. So what do? Well, let's take a look. I think my Siri just talked. Let's see. I think it's KeePass exploit. Oh yeah, it's talking. Let me see if I can get it to be quiet. 1 sec. Alright, I'm back and just had to tell my phone to not talk over me. So right here, we have a couple of exploits, right? This one's for Windows, and I saw in one of the write-ups that you needed Windows. That's not true at all. You really don't. You really just need to search a little bit. See, this was a Windows one, which is great. Actually, it is the best one, if I'm being honest. But this one works just as fine. Alright, so I'm going to clone this. KeePass. Pass. Git clone. I'll do this. And this runs right out of the box, I think. Yeah. So let's see. We're gonna do, there's definitely some thing. Yeah, I think that's what it wants us to do. Let's see. Skip debug. Yeah, no jump. I don't think we need the no jump. So let's go ahead and do, where we go? Oh, there it is, 1337, and do skip debug, and there it goes. So it extracts, and so you can actually get it from here, right? And then it gives you this. And you can, it kind of tries to guess at these. It doesn't give you the first character. You kind of guess, right? Which one of these letters will make sense, right? Or you could just go up. It tells you right there as well, right? So let's go ahead and copy this. Go back. So we're gonna do, so now I need to write a script. So I'm gonna do pass text, just so I don't forget it. So we already know what that is. We know what that is. We need to figure out the first letter. Now there's many ways of doing it. I know there's a way to do it with hashcat, John, but I'm just gonna stick to what I know. Just gonna write a quick little script. Fuzzing. Preliminary extra tr. Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna do this, get all these characters. I'm gonna do list, and you see there's a little awful there. I'm gonna make that line break. I'm gonna do W, Control Shift D. There we go. I0. before. So while I is less than the length of the list, I'm gonna print, this is so lazy, I plus the word. So we're gonna add each one to the word, right? We're gonna add each character to that word, and then we add one to I. Now, I don't want to go through the file thing, but you see there. So I'm gonna write pass list. Oh, okay. Let's see. Oh, it didn't like something. All right, well, I'll take that. Let's see. So, what else can we do? Oh, right. So now we need to extract the hash, right? So we could do this KeePass to John database. Call this hash. Now we're gonna do John hash word list equals pass list, and we get it right there. It takes less than a second, right? kpcli. Do I want to install it? I don't like using just app for some reason. kpcli. Get my password in there. It takes 2 seconds there. So kpcli DB database. Provide the master password. I don't know. This. And that's it. So we have the database group, and you have 2 entries and you have 1. If you get that entry, I think if you do show to, oh, whoops. Well, you got the flag for free. I messed up. I thought the flag was in the password. Oh well. It's my video, my challenge. I'm not gonna reject my own. Sorry. Anyway, that's the challenge, and I really had fun creating it. I thought this exploit was pretty cool, and I really wanted to showcase it in a challenge way that's more geared towards forensics. This was actually a pain to figure out when I first did it, because I kept messing up the extraction, and if you messed up the extraction, you weren't gonna get this right. This just would fail, right? And eventually, and the funny thing is, like, I kept making a very beginner mistake, a rookie mistake, by comparing the hashes when I first extracted them. And the hashes were going to be different because there's some tiny bytes that might be lost during the TCP process. So that was a silly moment, but then once I eventually figured out, oh, let me just run it, and then, we'll just do something simpler, which is file, and that's what worked with it. And that's when I knew I had it, and then the exploit was pretty straightforward. So hope you liked the challenge. Feel free to comment, like, and subscribe, and I see you all next time.